Could this be the coziest survival game to ever exist? Imagine a survival game where freedom knows no bounds and you can soar through the air on your very own skyship. Aloft is one of the most anticipated games of 2025, so naturally I needed to see what all the hype is about. So is it truly cozy? I am pleased to say that Aloft really is the perfect cozy survival game to play in winter, whether you're solo or with friends. I had a lot of fun with the game, and today I want to share with you 6 cozy features that I think you will love as a cozy gamer. I am happy to announce that today's video is kindly sponsored by Funcom, so many thanks to them for the opportunity. But my opinions are still my own, so let's dive in and I hope you enjoy the video. First of all, in this game we are on a mission to explore islands, cure them from mushroom corruption, and restore their natural ecosystem. And our final goal is actually to reach the Eye of the Storm to defeat the creature Leviathan. And in order to do so, in the very beginning, we are equipped with a kite to soar through the air. The game really doesn't take your hand, and I was hopping from island to island without really knowing where I am or what is going on. And while that may sound confusing, I personally found it a very freeing and gratifying feeling. There was just something intriguing about discovering islands on my own with absolutely no sense of orientation, but I was still getting somewhere and I was always making progress. It felt very non-linear to explore the island out of order, and it was a very refreshing feeling to take charge. I didn't always know where to find every recipe or material I needed, but so far I was always able to find it pretty quickly by dismantling, breaking down, and collecting every interactable rock and piece I could find on each island. And to make this exploration even more enjoyable, the game offers limitless floating in the sky. Our kite lets us float unlimitedly in the sky, and it is very foolproof to navigate. We do not have any fall damage, which is one of the best details I could have imagined for a cozy game set in the sky. Because like this, we can fully indulge in the feeling of drifting through the air without needing to worry about any limits. Early on in the game, we can craft a map to navigate where we would like to go and where we can see where we have been before, which makes it so much easier to plan and decide where our journey is going to take us next. And I really love how we can use our skyship turned island to travel. The controls were fairly easy for me to understand, though it might take time for you to master them. You control the wheel to change direction, the sail is for speeding up or slowing down, and then you alternate between pressing the spacebar and control to change the altitude. But it's not just the mechanics that make this game so enjoyable for me. The atmosphere and the immersive world building have also really captivated me. I honestly did not know what to expect before I started playing Aloft, but the atmosphere really did blow me away. The setting of an abandoned yet tranquil universe somehow managed to make me feel at peace. I also really liked its design and art direction, which kind of had a Nordic vibe to it. The background music and the gentle wind sounds really added up to that immersion, and it became clear to me that Aloft was definitely created with us cozy gamers in mind, because even doing nothing at all in the game felt so soothing, and there was even a Steam achievement for that. The game also managed to make me really curious about its story, because no matter where we go, we come across ancient-looking abandoned structures of a possibly long-lost civilization. As I mentioned before, there is also this big storm in the middle of the map that we will at some point sail right through. And it all made me wonder just what had happened in this world, and it encouraged me to keep going. Of course, I cannot say yet how good the story is going to be, but Aloft manages pretty well in keeping everything mysterious. Also important to mention is that we can actually switch our perspective between a first-person and a third-person view, and I really appreciated that as well. Now that we are fully immersed and invested in a story, we also have to get fighting. I usually love and hate the idea of survival games. I think it's always great that we get to live our own life in the wilderness surrounded by nature. But what I usually don't love is that it feels like the stakes are very high. But this actually felt very different for Aloft. It does a lot of things differently from a classic survival game that actually made it extremely cozy to play. While combat against the mushroom folk can be a bit exhilarating, and I did die quite quickly in the beginning, however, we do not get punished for dying, and we only get teleported back to our home island. As far as I have seen, we are not experiencing other negative effects from dying, such as material loss or a debuff, and that actually really encouraged me to go back out there and actually fight, even when I'm normally not the type who likes battles and cozy games. Aloft felt fairly low stakes despite being a bit fast-paced with all the evading and blocking. In case you really do not want to fight though, the game is also going to be implementing a peaceful mode where we don't need to fight any enemies at all. For cozy gamers like me who hate to fight but who still enjoy a little challenge, I think Aloft is very good at keeping that balance. And what would a cozy game be without having our very own home? We can freely set our home island to whatever island we want, as long as it is not too big. And honestly, I absolutely love that feature. All we have to do is attach a kite, a helm, sails and rudders, and we can even move to places while being on our home island. Having a mobile home added so much comfort to my gameplay. It felt less like being vulnerable and without shelter all alone in the wilderness. Instead, I had a cute patch of floating land to customize and call my own. I also really like that we can teleport to our home island anytime we want, so I didn't need to stress about getting lost and forgetting where my home was. Another neat detail is also a buff that we receive by staying on our home island. It lets us regenerate health over time, which adds even more purpose to the feature of having our own home. Speaking of home, we of course cannot forget about the building. With over 600 pieces to build with, there are just so many possibilities. And I couldn't even find the time to explore them all yet. We've got different roof pieces, floors, wooden structures, fences, and so much more. I loved how simple yet intuitive it felt to be able to place pieces down easily by pointing at a certain spot. I only needed to have the proper materials ready. Also, relocating our home or placing items somewhere else is quite quick, since we can dismantle our furniture items and receive materials back in return. Now, I will admit I am not the best builder, but I like what they are giving us to work with. When we do get to see abandoned structures on each island, it makes me kind of imagine just how much potential there is to build the perfect home for ourselves. I also find it very important that we can actually share our creations in a multiplayer with friends, and we can also use the Steam Workshop to share our creations or check out other players' custom islands. Of course, if you prefer the more traditional cozy game elements, there's also cooking, farming, and ranching. Aloft had so much to offer that I barely managed to explore all there is to it. So I won't go into details about these features in this video. But still, look at just how adorable the animals are in this game. Yes, we can adopt, feed, and pet them. So if you love farming games and cozy life sims with ranching, you will probably have so much fun with this game. Aloft is available in early access right now, so if you would like to start your very own journey above the clouds, you can use my link in the description below. There's honestly so much content that I couldn't even explore it all yet. Decorating is pretty much unlimited, even in early access, and the story is about 30 hours, so I think it is totally worth diving in already. The devs have also published a roadmap with future content that we can look forward to this year. But this is everything from me for now. Have a wonderful day, my friends, and see you in the next video.